So what's up, everybody? It's me, True Star Screamer. Yeah, I had to do that one left-handed. And we are looking at, this is from the Loose Collectibles, from Executive Replicas, by way of Coffin Comics. Yeah, this is a whole lot going on here. Their Legacy series, La Muerta. Yes, I said that right. Fight me for it. And this has been a very anticipated figure. A lot of other reviewers have gotten her in hand. Just Jay Hernandez, I believe Articulated Ninja got her. So I, of course, got in the way of the traditional method of giving a company money, and then they sent me, then they gave me a figure in exchange for money, aka Big Bad Toy Store. And she finally arrived this weekend. I've been mildly excited for this figure, and spoiler, I have actually already opened this figure up. I have messed with it a little. So I have some interesting thoughts on this. I love this picture, by the way. I mean, she comes with a lot of stuff. I mean, you can see here, 31 points of articulation, 2 semi-auto rifles, 1 long rifle, 2 pistols, a utility belt, 2 trigger hands, 2 open hands, and 2 fists. So we got a lot of stuff here. Does it have the knife on there? Because she also has a knife. Yeah. It actually doesn't mention the knife on there, but she's got a big knife. Other figures are in this line: Lady Death, Chaotica, Lady Satanis, Hell Witch, all of those which I passed on because they all had these crazy high heels. I actually got this one because, well, she had boots, so I figured this one would actually stand. A lot of good art from the comic. I actually did binge on the comic a little bit, so I kind of know her background. But enough about the box, enough about the art. Let's get this figure out and let's talk about what this thing is all about. Now here we have La Muerta out of the box. Yes, it is just fun to say her name if you know with the proper pronunciation. And I opened her up about a day or two ago, and I told myself, okay, I gotta get her to the review table. I got thoughts. And then I said, you know what, maybe you're being a little harsh, so wait a little bit. So I had some time to sleep on this. As I get to say one of my favorite overused sayings. Oh, there are things I like about it, and there's things I don't. There's things that are well done, and there are things I don't care for. So, accessory count is absolutely fantastic. I brought one of each out. She comes with fist hands. We'll go ahead and start here. We got a holding hand, which is perfect for this stabbing, for the knife here, for stabby time. This does have a vertical hinge, by the way, so which makes stabby time even better. We have your open palm hand with in and out, and we have a trigger hand with also on a vertical hinge. So that is a vertical hinge. Hard to tell with this plastic, but yes. And I will say changing the hands out was very easy. We get a utility belt. We'll talk about how you put it on in a little bit. It's a nice soft plastic. The paint, well, minute is well done. You know, black plastic, but it's got the silver buttons painted, which is very, very nice. And we got I guess that's an ammo clip back there, also painted silver. I think that's an ammo clip. I don't know, but it's a little counterproductive when we talk about the guns, which we'll go to in a second. Get a knife. And that's a knife. That is definitely a very nice combat knife. Black clad plastic with a little bit of gold on the hilt. I actually don't mind that, especially if she's sneaking around and it's kind of like a commando knife, and maybe it was carbon steel, blackens for no reflection. And there is a spot here on the utility belt for the knife. Yay! Then we get 2 automatics. Now remember I talking about that weapons clip? I think it would have been nice to at least have the bottom here painted silver. All the weapons here are just black plastic. No highlights whatsoever. They're solid plastic. Won't disparage that. But I think I have been spoiled by Action Force 110%. I've said on this channel many a time. That the Action Force weapons are the best on the market today. So no holes for effects. Yes, I've been spoiled by Joe and Action Force, but and I wouldn't have minded some kind of like silver highlight on this. And these will also fit in the holsters here. It's gonna sound weird. I'm actually kind of glad she has like these two, I don't know what they are, if they're Beretta, they're not Berettas, but they're small caliber pistols, I guess 22s. But I like that fact that, you know, it's not like the usual Desert Eagles that a lot of people have. They'll break your wrist if you dual wield them. I'm not saying that these probably won't, but I will say also this could fit a little more snug in here. I feel like I'm kind of forcing it in, because even though the pistol looks like it's supposed to be going in there, it doesn't quite fit, you know, perfect. Maybe I don't know if I need to hit this plastic with a hairdryer to loosen it up. But I mean, it's in there. It's decent. And again, we'll put this on her in a little bit. We get 2 machine guns. Again, good plastic. I would have liked, again, a little bit of highlight paint on this. I am, as mentioned before, spoiled by Joe and spoiled by Action Force, you know, removable clips and all that. No, I don't get any of that. No holes for effects. These are okay. If I do want to have her holding automatic weapons, I will probably just break out some Action Force weapons. And a sniper rifle. Again, plain plastic. I might just dry brush this stuff later this week just to give it some personality. I don't know why it's bugging me, but it is. So those are her accessories. Let's talk about the figure itself. Quick edit, I almost forgot. She also comes with a display stand, which, okay, I don't know if the other figures came with this, but I'm going to say this. Whoever came up with this, I appreciate the intent, but you kind of screwed up a little, because it says Loose Collectibles on the bottom, but it's transparent. So when you have it on the stand here, you're just seeing Loose Collectibles written backwards. Or Loose Collector written backwards. They should have flipped this, I think, and put it on the top, so that way when you have it down here, you're seeing Loose Collector, or even the character's name on there. But I'm happy we got it. You know, better to have a stand than no stand at all. Alright, kids, buckle up. We are going to probably get into some, I don't want to say controversial commentary here, but if you keyboard warriors are here, I look forward to seeing your comments down below on this. I pride myself on giving you guys my honest opinion on reviews. I spend my money on this stuff. So if I ever get anything for free, of course there'll be a full disclaimer. But I always like to say, if I spend the money on the figure, I am entitled to be critical about my purchase. Plain and simple. And so, I'm going to be critical on this figure. There are some very good things about it. The paint is, dear Lord, absolutely phenomenal. This face right here, the paint, the detail, the eyes. I will not say a disparaging word about this. The skeleton actually goes on pretty well on this. You know, we got our Day of the Dead here, and the whole sugar skull motif. I absolutely love it. So that part I love. The paint, the detail, these kneecaps, you know, the elbow pads, all the buckles. Oh my gosh, all these gorgeous, gorgeous buckles. The steel toes. That is what I want in paint on a figure. 110%. Yes, yes, and yes. This is possibly one of the best painted female figures I have handled. The sculpt. I like the ab muscles dipping down here. Back here on the back muscles on here. Those are some beautiful details on here that a lot of companies, I hate to say it, they miss out on that. That is a realistic aspect to it. The character here, she was in the army. It would make sense. She works out. She takes care of herself. She was in fighting form. She had just come back from the military before her whole family got gunned down and all this stuff. Yeah, she's basically a combination of the Punisher and the Crow, because then she works with the spirit of death to help her out. Cool. The sculpt. let's talk about the elephant in the room. You remember I was talking about she's got those back muscles there? I bet she wakes up every morning with a backache. You gotta... they're there. They're there, folks. It was funny. I took this figure out, and my wife was looking at it, and she's like, "You've got to be kidding me." And then my daughter came by. She wanted to see it, and my daughter just showed it to her with a disappointing look on her face. Now, I know the art. I know. I read comics in the 90s. Believe me, I read the Image comics. And yes, it's just... I'm sorry. I'm 45 years old. Maybe I've just been not in the right places. I've yet to meet somebody built like this. Built like that? Yes, I have. Built like that? Not so much. I'm gonna say. So we got that out of the way. Next is the hips. They're loosey. They are loose. I'm sorry. This company's called LooseCollector, and their hips are loose. That was one of my problems with the werewolf. So, you know, it's just some of the inconsistencies to it. The knee joints, oh, they're great. But these hips, not so much. They're shaking to it. I'm going to bring some other figures in a little bit to kind of compare this to. Also, you know, well, let's go ahead and talk articulation. The neck is on a double barbell. I tried to pop it off. Maybe I need to heat it up, but I can say it is a smaller ball peg, so I know for a fact it's not compatible with some of my other figures. The shoulder joints. No butterfly joint. It's okay. The shoulder itself, it's a little stiff, but I can get the T-pose out of it. Double jointed elbows, though. Very nice. Again, also with that elbow pad, works really, really well. We've got our bicep swivel. You know, each hand has its own different type of hinge on there. The hips, it's just, there's a ball joint here, ball joint there. No drop down hip whatsoever. I kind of find that a shame. I really think that would really have helped out this figure tremendously. Can kick high, about that high. Can kick out, about like there. And can't kick back that much because, well, baby's back is blocking the way. Double knees, cool. And we got a boot swivel. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we got a boot swivel. The ankle pivot could be a little better, but we got it. And of course, ankle tilts up there. Notice there's one joint I haven't talked about yet. So I've got ab crunch here. There is no waist joint whatsoever. And I can turn this slightly. We're talking maybe not even 15 degrees on that to push the torso forward. And then remember I talked about the belt here, because if I turn this too much, that's what pops the joint out, which of course then is how we can put the belt on. So we'll go ahead and gear her up right now. That's why I kept that out here. And this fits okay. You can kind of do the jaunty angle on the hips, and then that just pops right in. As you can see, barbell here, barbell there. But while that allows me, again, some back, and I do like how the rib cage is painted here, and some forward, there is barely any twisting on here. And I find that, I'm sorry, I just don't like that at all. We've got other figures that can move better, that cost less, because yeah, this is a $65 figure. Plus shipping, you know, depending on what you get, you know, Big Bad Toy Store, you get the flat shipping, you get the tax. If you bought this directly from LooseCollector, yeah, they charge like 15 bucks shipping. I mean, I do like the fact I can get like the angles on it pretty well, which is some of the best posing I've seen with her. I like that, but the lack of waist really does get to me, and the hips. So I'm going to break out a couple of figures in a second, but I will say I am getting very happy that we get the stand here. Peg holes are in the front of the boots, so we'll want to peg it in here. I mean, I know it's a tight fit, but it can go in there. But I think that is definitely going to help when you display her, because that gives a lot more of a point of contact, and we can do other poses that then we're just supporting with this. So I think that does help, and I am glad they packaged it with there. In fact, I'll leave that on there for her, and we'll break out some figures. I did not realize how tall of a character she is. Huh. Brought out Killmonger here to show how she does compare with the typical 6-inch figure, which, as you can see, looks fine. Man, I did not realize how much she towered over Warbird here. But Gemini is also a taller character, so this is our comparisons on here. So she still works with your regular 1/12 collection, no problem. Man, I did not realize how tiny this buck is. I'm going to get rid of him for a second, because I really want to talk about the comparison with these two. In my opinion, these are two of the best female action figure bodies on the market today. The Black Widow mold with all the extra articulation, and the Valaverse female body. Each brings something fantastic to the table. First, got to talk about the Warbird. It's probably the more articulated of them. You know, of course, we've seen my review. You know, you're able to incorporate a butterfly joint into there. I can still twist the torso. She still has curves. You know, let's call it as it is. She's got them. Not a higher grade of these, but she's got them, and it shows in this body very well. But this buck still allows me to maneuver very well. I can still kick out. Doesn't have the drop down hips, but it has a much, not only a better ab crunch, but I can twist the entire torso around. So this is important. And again, this was a $25 figure. I know, low production runs and all, but I paid $65 for that. I know we got licensing and such on there, but I'm just saying this is a better designed buck. Breaking out Gemini, she is actually, I know this might be really controversial. She is my favorite of the Action Force females. Yes, more than Eclipse and more than Pandora. The thing that Bobby does is he does a very good job with a non-butterfly, but still allows me to bring the arm across. Again, he's got realistic proportions in his female body. I didn't take off the vest on this one, but again, she has the waist, she can move, and he's got the drop-down hips. This was a $30 figure at the time. I think, yeah, she came out before the price drop. Now again, I understand, no licensing on here. Warbird also came with 2 heads. I think she should have come with a second head with a different expression. But Gemini here also came with multiple hands and a stand, just like she does. And, well, I got some paint on that pistol too. I wanted to bring these out just to show, again, this is a solid figure, but I'm not going to say this is going to change how female figures, I think, are made. I'm not going to say this is revolutionary in its design, when, to be frank, we've got 2 very good designs out there that do it a little better. And yeah, I'm not trying to be a Hasbro here, but they do it fantastic. Also, look at the Scarlet figure too, also very well done. And Gemini here. Again, I personally, this is like I said, this is my favorite female action figure I own. It was funny, as y'all know, when I do these final videos, I try to put them in the final thoughts here. I try to put the figure in a pose that I feel sells it, if that makes sense, you know, to show off its articulation. I could not get her to balance, but then I remembered that she came with a transparent stand, because I'm very thankful she did, because if it didn't, this would be a much bigger pain to set up, which I'm going to say that is, I don't say is a saver thing, but it definitely helps with the figure. Why? Subjectively, again, the paint is incredible. 110%. No, sorry, to be objective, sorry. Not subjective, objective. To be objective, the paint is incredible. 110%. That face, beautiful, gorgeous, lovely, detailed. Can't say enough about it to praise. The silver buckles, fantastic, incredible. I wish more companies would pay attention to detail like that. The steel toes. You know, she doesn't have a lot of paint, but she has the paint where it counts, and that's very, very important. Being objective here, the waist swivel. The lack of it really, for me, is it's a turn off as far as a figure as a poser. You know, again, the balance is slightly off on there, but because of this display stand, if you're the type of person who takes a figure out of the package, puts it in a pose, sets it on the shelf, you will be happy. So I'm not going to discourage you and say, oh my gosh, this figure is trash. It's not. It is not, by far. I'm just not going to say this is a game changer. I'm not going to say this will change your, how you look at figures. This is my third LooseCollector figure. Okay, got the 2 wolves, got her. I've got one more on order. And again, it's one of those ones where if you know me, I had to get it. But I'm not going to be going, LooseCollector is the line of that you should be going for. You know, I'm going to say that's Jada Toys, and in my opinion, you know, being subjective on here, I'm sorry, I think they could have, this is going to sound very weird, but I think they could have toned down the bust. I really do. I think it's distracting the figure more than it's adding to it. And it definitely adds to it. That's just me. We've got, maybe it's also, you know, I've got a daughter and I've tried to want to have realistic body goals, but it's the character from the comics. The weapons are fine. They're fine. I almost would have said it would have been kind of cool if he outsourced them from Vala, to be honest. But if you are a fan of the character, get her. If you've been collecting the loose collectibles and you've been enjoying them, get her. If you've been wanting to delve into this line to see what it's all about, I almost want to say be a little hesitant. Okay, again, this is not the cheapest figure. This is again $65. This is Figuarts pricing. Again, I understand low production runs. I understand. If you guys been watching Figure Reaction, I've been talking to toy guys who make toys, so I totally get that. You know, MLQs and all that. Licensing, I understand, but at the same time, I just don't know. I'm looking forward again to their Grendel figure. That's the figure, the other one I've got on pre-order right now. But this is probably going to be the only of their bad girls that I'm going to be owning for right now. I just don't see. I mean, again, the design, it's there, but it's not hitting the compulsion for me. It's kind of like when I bought that 3-0 Bloodshot figure. You know, I'm glad I got my hands on it, but I'm at the same time, I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, this is the latest, greatest for action figures. So, that's my 2 cents. I know, I rambled, but let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know if I'm wrong. Please tell me why I'm wrong. If you agree with me, hey, feed my dopamine addiction. I love it. Validate me, baby. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And most importantly, as always, until next time, take care. Peace.